We're back here at the Tap Into broadcast booth. Steve, who are tonight's officials for the game?
Our head referee is Michael Rotter. Our umpire is Bruce Cronover. Head linesman Darren Miller. Line judge Greg Chepkowski. Side judge John Cummins. And field judge Augie Lorio.
Franklin is taking the field. Looks like number 7, Tyke Rhineberry, is going to be receiving the kick.
Rhineberry has game-breaking ability. The Warriors are going to want to get the ball in his hands as often as possible.
Number 34 for Westfield, Will Kessler, will be kicking off for the Blue Devils. Do you think that they will kick away from Rhineberry, knowing how dangerous he can be?
You know, Westfield is the number 19 team in the state. I think they're going to kick the ball. They're going to go down, play coverage, tackle him. They have a lot of confidence, playing with a lot of confidence. I don't think they're kicking away from anybody right now.
Let's see if Franklin can build on its momentum from last week. Learning to get that victory is often the first step. Here's the kick. Bounces into the hands of Rhineberry. He takes it to the outside. He's got a lane. He's on the far sideline and pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Great cutback by Rhineberry on that, following his blocking and making his way out across the 40-yard line. Excellent job by the Warriors on that kick return.
And taking the field now will be the Franklin Warriors. Tony Scott will be under center. Steve, what kind of weapons do you think Tony's going to have at his disposal for tonight?
Well, you know, Franklin has a number of playmakers for him to use. The fullback, Brandon Myers, the wide receivers, Clay Fields, and Tyke Rhineberry. He's got quite a bit to work with on offense.
This is a surprise where Tony is now not under center, but taken from the shotgun. It's an inside handoff to number 14, Jack Jarris, who's with a promising gain, 7 yards down to the 43-yard line.
It's a great job by Franklin's O-line.
Oh, Dalen Merricks.
And an excellent job by Merricks to cut back behind the center's block.
2nd and 3 on the 36-yard line. Franklin running the safe huddle. Again, Scott starting in shotgun. Is this a surprise?
No, you know, the Warriors like to come out in this 3 wide receiver look. Not surprised by this at all.
Scott with the keeper. Nowhere to run. Taken down by the Blue Devil line at the 42-yard line. No gain for Scott. 3rd and 3 coming up.
You know, that was another great job by the Franklin O-line. Scott needs to follow his blocks up inside. The hole is there. The blocking is there. He just needs to trust it and follow it.
In that situation, when you want to see Tony just put his foot in the turf and take it upfield, or?
You want to see him go where the play is blocked. So follow your blocks, follow your big uglies right up into the hole.
3rd down now. Single back set, Tony in the shotgun. 3rd and 3. Ball, little slant pass to the wide receiver, number 9. Teo Badru, who's taken down almost immediately for no gain at the 40.
It's a great job by number 43 on Westfield, Shea Elliott, getting off the block, making the tackle on the screen pass.
Coming in to punt for the Warriors will be number 42, Aliou Conte. Deep to receive for the Blue Devils. Looks like a single receiver as they're going to be bringing a lot of pressure coming after this kick. The high snap floats back. The kick is away. It's down the left sideline. Ball is taking a Franklin Warrior bounce, saying Poison, get away from it, and will be down by number 9, Bayou Badru at the Westfield 25-yard line. Westfield will come out on offense now.
It's a very good job by Franklin's punter getting that punt off quick. Westfield did come with pressure. They brought everybody.
It wasn't a great productive first sequence for the Warriors, but do you think that little safe screen pass that Tony threw might build some confidence against this Westfield defense?
I do, and most importantly, the Warriors' offensive line is blocking and blocking well.
Okay, here we go now with Westfield under center. Whistle stops the field.
Interesting look to start the game for Franklin. Everybody up in the box.
A little equipment malfunction here. Official timeout. Now we're ready to begin. Westfield takes the ball 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A little handoff. The power running game for Westfield. This is their bread and butter, and defended nicely by the Warrior line.
Yeah, you know, G, it looks like the Warriors are coming out to stop number 30, Tim Allegro, and they did it right there. They brought everybody into the box, and they shut that run play down.
Quarterback number 10, Hank Shapiro, with the handoff to Allegro.
Warriors again bringing everybody down towards the line of scrimmage.
Franklin features an aggressive defense. Likes to bring pressure in. Allegro gets through the line, and he's into the open field. Being tracked down by Franklin as he's brought down at the 35-yard line of the Warriors. A big gain. That hole opened up.
Game-saving tackle by number 12, O'Brien Dennison. Good job. Great cutback by Allegro there.
2 on the tackle.
Sorry, number 2, Claiborne Fields.
Franklin is going to have to expect that they're going to break their runs. It's just a question of whether or not they can keep them out of the end zone. Shapiro in the shotgun. Allegro single back set. Play fake. Shapiro rolls out, pressured, and breaks a tackle, but then taken down at the 32-yard line by number 58, Quazir Byram.
Great job by the Warriors. Just got to wrap up and make that tackle. Good coverage downfield. Forced Westfield's quarterback to tuck it and run. Warriors got to make that tackle in the backfield.
Do you think Westfield needs to establish the run more before they go to play action, or is it just that they're going to play off their scouting reports?
I think that the Blue Devils want to keep the Warriors off balance, and so far it looks like they're doing a good job of just that.
Shapiro calling the plays. Line comes set, and some movement. Looks like Franklin jumped. Offsides, encroachment on the defense.
So this is the danger with being so excited to get this game started, playing against such a highly ranked opponent, having the win last week. The Warriors are clearly pumped to play on defense. Just got to contain that, harness that energy.
Coach Peskowski is encouraging his defense to be aggressive, but they have to ride that fine line as we come down to 2nd and 7 on the Warrior 32. Shapiro takes a snap, pitches off to Allegro, turning the corner, stretching the play, but contained nicely by the Franklin Warrior defense. Number 2, Claiborne Fields.
Fields did a great job of not giving Allegro the edge there, G. He held contain. He didn't let him get outside him. That's exactly how you coach it.
Nice patience by Allegro, though, not trying to force anything, just getting behind his blockers and taking what they would give. Shapiro waiting for the snap. Line comes set. Warriors again flinch. Is this, though, did they get the Westfield to false start this time?
Coach P has to be frustrated right now with his defensive line. They need to watch the ball rather than listen to the quarterback.
And that will give Westfield the first down on penalties. We are on the 21-yard line, just outside of the Atlantic Healthcare System red zone.
Westfield lining up in their version of a pro formation. They have their fullback lined up on the inside hip of the tackle, halfback behind the quarterback.
Ball handed off to Alliegro, who bursts through the line. He's going down to the first 3, and he is in for the touchdown.
Now, G, this is the danger with playing so many guys so close to the line of scrimmage. You leave yourself very vulnerable to a cutback, and if one guy misses a tackle, you don't have that second level of defenders to make the tackle after that. It was a tough play for Franklin. They really need to make that first tackle.
I'm sure that the family of Tim Alliegro will find that touchdown priceless, just like Venus Jewelers, your #1 new source for bridal source. The extra point is good by number 24, Aiden Bolin. Your score with 6:42 on the clock is Westfield 7, your Warriors nothing. And we're back here at the Tap Into broadcast booth as Westfield's getting ready to take the kickoff for Franklin. 2 back to receive. 7-0 Westfield, 6:42 on the clock.
Warriors are going to want to answer back quickly and strongly.
It's a short kick, picked up on the bounce. Again, blocking out in front. Tyke Reinberry takes it again. Another good return off of the short kick to the 28-yard line.
Good coverage, good tackling there by the Warriors. We'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the Franklin coaching staff. The head coach is John Pechkowski. Assistant coaches Dominic Amoroso, Mohamed El Sherbini, Chris McAvoy, Joe Porter, Matt Young, Bob Bruno, Steve Foster, and David Sturcio.
Continuing in the shotgun set is Tony Scott. Wide receiver split out wide. High floating snap, handed off deep in the backfield with penetration and going down, breaking the tackle, but still eventually swarmed by the Blue Devil defense.
So this is an example of where you want to see Tony Scott pull the football from his running back. There's a defender playing the running back, playing the zone play. Tony needs to pull that ball and run it the other way on the QB keep.
You're not really giving Dylan Merrick's the chance to even do anything with the ball when the defense is on top of you before the handoff is exchanged.
No, and that is by design. You're leaving the end unblocked on that play. You want to read that end. If he plays run, then you pull the ball and the quarterback keeps it. That's what Tony Scott needs to do.
Tony is such a playmaker that he thinks he can oftentimes make something out of nothing. Tony under center, 2nd down and 10 from the ball on the 20, 2nd down 25 on the 29. Tony fakes the pass, takes it, pulls the ball down and starts to scramble. He is almost through the line and he gets taken down after a minimum gain of about a yard, bringing the ball back to almost the original line of scrimmage.
Actually looked like a broken screen play there. Tony Scott wanted to get it out on the edge to one of his wide receivers, saw it wasn't there, tucked it down and ran.
That's what you get with a veteran quarterback when he recognizes that the play is falling apart and you can try to get your team out of the danger zone.
Exactly. That's why you like having a senior back there under center.
5:21 here to play. The clock is on your screen. Tony Scott takes the snap. Penetration, rolls to the right, looking downfield, sees nothing, tucks the ball, turns it upfield, trying to make something happen here, and is taken down at the 28-yard line by number 50 of Westfield, Drew Ortiz, one of their star outside linebackers.
Great job by Franklin's O-line of pass protection there. You want to see Tony Scott hold the ball for another second, let his receivers come open, and then get them the ball in space.
Franklin now back to punt. Conte back to punt. This is an important exchange. I'd like to see the flip the field a little bit. Conte takes a snap, gets the ball away. It is an end-over-end kick coming deep. And, big hit here by, the flags are coming down. Number 14, Dalen Merrick's late flag being thrown by the referee. Never made an indication for a fair catch.
You hate to see that, G. I think 14, Merrick's is going to get flagged for stepping over Westfield's return man. I don't think it's going to be a personal foul for kick-catch interference. He did a great job of timing that hit up. Great punt by Conte there, too.
So it was more of a taunting after the play than from the actual contact.
We'll see, but I think that's what they're going to call here. They are going to call kick-catch interference. He must have gotten there a split second early.
So even if the receiver doesn't put his hand up to indicate that a fair catch, the receiver still has to have a right to catch the ball.
You have to give him an opportunity to make the catch cleanly. You can't hit him early. That looked like a perfectly timed hit by Merrick's to me.
You know, I can't imagine somebody that age having the discipline to coming down full speed, seeing the catch, seeing an opportunity to make a play, especially when you're playing such a highly ranked team, and to have the discipline to just allow the catch. It's an awful lot to ask for someone.
You know, it looked like a clean play to me. He timed it perfectly, and as you saw, Westfield's return man did make the catch.
I'd like to give a special hello to Jackie Shoemaker, Franklin's guidance counselor and ESP of the Year, watching live home on the live stream, brought to you by Tap Into. Shapiro under center, takes a snap. He's got a receiver downfield, looking to the far side, throws the ball downfield. He's got a man who trips. The turf monster makes the play at the 20-yard line. Number 80, Emmett Smith. Not looking like the Hall of Famer in that particular play, but tried hard to. You know, he was open if he could have held his feet.
Westfield trying to take advantage of Franklin's 3 and out, as well as of the man coverage the Warriors are playing all across the board right there. They run 4 vertical routes and tried to get it to their best player, number 80, Smith.
Steve, is that a case of also trying to show pass to help loosen up the box a little bit?
It's a possibility, but I think they're really trying to catch the Warriors.
High snap, handed off to Alliegru. Warriors in on the tackle, swarming Franklin defense.
Great job there by the D-line and linebackers to hold the point of attack.
Looks like, again, number 58, Quazir Byram, lead tackle on that play.
And Byram and DeMeglio in the center of that defensive line are going to be key to stopping Alliegro and Westfield's inside zone play.
Third down here, 3rd and 6, just outside of the field goal range. This is a good opportunity for Franklin to assert itself. They took a punch in the nose with a quick hit, but now have a chance to regain some momentum and get the ball back. Want to make a big stop here. Shapiro takes the snap. Pressure coming from the Warriors. They roll Shapiro out. He looks downfield. He's got a man who is incomplete. Number 2 from Adam McDaniel, just out of reach. Covered deeply by Tyke Rhineberry.
And CG, this is the problem with playing man coverage and not getting there when you blitz. Receivers are going to come open. You can only ask your defensive backs to cover for so long. The Warriors need to get there when they bring pressure, and they need to bring the carriers down.
Number 34, Will Kessler, in on the punt. So a good victory there for Franklin with the exchange. Ball whistle stops the play. Referee's going to tell us what the stoppage is for. I'd like to thank Venus Jewelers for being a sponsor and Robert Quinn for assembly. And the possibility of too many men on the field for Franklin. Illegal substitution for the Warriors, so it'll be 5 more yards for Westfield, but will not give them a first down. It'll be 4th and 1.
Interesting decision here for the Blue Devils in high school football.
And looks like they're going to bring the offense back on the field. So this is a real gut check moment for Franklin. A costly penalty.
Punt doesn't really do you any good here. Makes sense.
You had the Blue Devils off the field, giving the ball back to you. Now you're going to put their star running back for a chance to pick up 4th and 6.
Huge play for the Warriors here. They know what's coming. Westfield knows what they're going to run.
4th and 1. Here comes the run. He's at the line. Idiot's going to pick up the yardage. He's through for a first down. Helmet comes off, so they'll stop the play.
By rule, he's going to have to come off the field, but a great run again by Allegro. The Warriors need to try to bring him down on first contact. Don't let him run through arm tackles. Coach this all week.
You know, when you're playing a team that is as experienced and as skilled as Westfield, you can't give them second lives.
No, you just can't. That penalty was killer. And it was a great play by the Blue Devils.
Shapiro back in the shotgun, takes a snap, hands the ball off to Aliegro's replacement, who gets maybe 1-2 yards on the play. Number 8, Jake Valobera, one of their captains. So it looks like Allegro is now back in after losing his helmet. For second down, 2nd and 7, 3 picked up by Valobera on first down. Also, at this point, how tired is Franklin having to play yet another series of downs on defense?
You know, they're probably a little tired, G, but I think...
Play fake. Shapiro rolls out, throws the ball to the end zone. He's got a man. Overthrows.
Great
Good coverage.
there.
Number 87, the intended target, Tommy Norris, covered by
Teo Badru. Teo Badru with great over-the-top coverage there. Remember, he's playing one-on-one. Everything Franklin's doing right now is one-on-one man coverage. So great job of Badru holding up in coverage there, staying in his hip pocket step for step.
Tommy Norris is probably getting maybe 5 to 7 inches on Teo Badru, so I think Shapiro was trying to exploit the height disadvantage. Shapiro under center, third down, hands off to Allegro. Allegro breaks the visual contact, but then brought down by the Warriors by number 2, Antonio. Claiborne Fields the third.
What a tackle there by Clay Fields. He's probably given up 30 pounds to Allegro, and he makes the tackle by the ankles, by the shoelace. Great job, Clay Fields, on that play.
Here's an interesting call from Westfield. 4th and 7, and they are going to go for it. Not going to go for the field goal.
And again, this is something that you see in high school where kickers don't have the range that they have at other levels of football.
And the snap. Shapiro looks to the right. He's got a man open. The ball is dropped. Number 3, Jason Cassett, doing his best Brandon Marshall imitation, had the ball in his hands at a key moment and dropped the ball.
Franklin very fortunate right there. Despite playing man coverage, they're playing off by about 6 yards. Got to know where the sticks are. The Warriors get lucky there on the drop.
As we take a break in the action, reminder, tonight's game is being brought to you by Tap Into, Franklin Online Newspaper Network, Venus Jewelers, Robert Quinn for Assembly, the Atlantic Healthcare System, the Sisters Network of Central New Jersey, Carletta C. Beckworth, CPA, and the Learning Experience of Monmouth Junction. Back to play here live in Franklin. 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line. Minute 35 left of the first quarter. It is 7-0. The ball's pitched outside. A little fumble on the snip. And then quick swarming hits by the Blue Devil defense with number 46, Joseph San Giacomo. Do you think that little bobble with the exchange caused him to not be able to accelerate upfield quickly?
It might have, G. It might have, but Westfield did a great job of setting the edge there, keeping contained, forcing ball carrier to cut it back up inside and making the tackle.
You know, Steve, the Warriors don't seem as crisp as they did coming out against Montgomery. Is this just a question of that Westfield is that much of a better opponent, or there's a little nerves going on here?
You know, I think they're actually playing well. I think they just need to follow their blocks, take
Tony
advantage
falls
of
back
where the
instead.
play
He's getting
is
pressured as he's got a man taken down at the 10-yard line. Again, San Giacomo with the penetration to bring down Tony Scott.
Critical third down here. The Warriors want to reverse some field position here, get the ball back onto Westfield's side of the field.
Steve, I noticed that everything they're running is either going to be a pass to the flat or trying to wait for something to happen. Do you think they have to get more slant routes going across to give them quick hitting options?
So I think one of the things that they want to do here is get the ball into their playmakers' hands in space. They're trying to get it out of Tony Scott's hands fast. Screen plays are probably the best way for them to do that.
It is a third, and it's a timeout on the field. At the end of the first quarter, the score is Westfield 7, Franklin nothing. I keep forgetting when he goes to commercial. We don't have. And we're back here live for the start of the second quarter.
Quickly, we want to introduce to you the Westfield coach. Assistant coaches Kenneth Miller, Sam Hyman, Joe Avina, Matt Ansel, Dave Hancock, William Mellett, Jim McKeon, Donald Cassett, Donald Dayon, and Ron Thornburg.
Coach, what are you looking for here if you're Pachkowski? You're 3rd and 17, deep in your own territory. Protect the ball more important than trying to get the first down?
You want to establish some rhythm, protect the football here. You want to get Tony Scott his first completion of the day.
I mean, realistically, how many 3rd and 17s do you have in your playbook? Scott with the snap, rolls out, throws the ball deep downfield, has a man. Overthrown, out of bounds, looking for number 9, Tayu Badru.
Warriors took a shot there, and I don't hate where Tony Scott put that football. He put it where either his receiver could make a play or no one could make a play. So all in all, not a bad play for the Warriors, and now we're going to see them punt.
It looked like assistant coach Matt Young had the best chance at that football. Would have been Matt's first reception since his tight end days in Princeton High School.
Westfield again looking like they're going to bring the house.
Conte takes the snap, floating snap at the goal line, gets the ball away, end over end kick, and it is hitting down out of bounds at the 38-yard line of Franklin.
Westfield bringing pressure on those punts. It's a matter of time before they get to them. The Warriors are going to need to do something different with their blocking scheme.
Tayu Badru downing the ball for Franklin. He has been everywhere tonight for the Warriors.
Yeah, Badru is a playmaker. He has been since his sophomore year for this varsity team. He's got speed. He's got hands. He is the whole package as a playmaker for the Warriors.
Westfield comes on 1st and 10 from their 37-yard line. This is a key sequence for the Warriors. They've held on so far, keeping the score 7-0. And almost, if they can keep the score of this game this close, they have to feel confidence growing that they can be in this game. Shapiro from the shotgun, hands off to Alliegro. Alliegro hits the line hard, pulled downfield, a gain to the 30-yard line. Tackled again by number 2, Claiborne Fields.
You can see Westfield's interior linemen, center, guards, opening up holes in the middle of that Franklin line. They're going to have to squeeze those gaps and make tackles on first contact if they're going to stop Westfield's offense.
2nd down, Shapiro taking the signals from the sideline. 2nd and 4 on the 31-yard line. Line comes set, the ball is snapped. He drops back, passes away. It is complete to the far sideline and a juke, and number 88 is down at the 9-yard line. Number 80 for Emmett Smith. Making up for the drop earlier with a big gain pickup for Westfield, driving Franklin deep in its own territory.
Simple play design there, G. Outside receiver runs a go, and the slot receiver runs a quick out. He's open in space. Smith was able to make his defender miss, and then there's nobody there to make the tackle for the Warriors.
Franklin deep in its own territory. Ball 1st and 10 on the 8-yard line. in the Atlantic Care Health Scare System red zone. The ball handed off to Allegro, who's hit, met immediately. And the ball is loose and recovered by the Warriors. What an opportune play.
Much better job by the Warriors there, shutting that hole, putting their helmets on the football. You practice that every day.
That was Darius Mathis putting the helmet on the ball, jarring it loose.
Excellent job there by Mathis. Excellent hold there by the Warriors. That could be a game-changing play.
We did.
All right, quickly, the Franklin administration. Our athletic director is Ken Margolin, trainers Anthony Brito and Matt Elmeyer, site supervisor Paulette Kirkner. Dr. John Rivali is our superintendent. John Todd and Dan Lothran are our assistant superintendents.
Tony Scott under center, pressure in the end zone, takes the ball, hands it off, push the line straight up the field, maybe for a gain of 2, 3 hard-fought yards. Ball came out, picked up by Westfield, but the play is being blown dead.
Referee saying that the whistle blew before the ball came out. Fullback Brandon Myers needs to hold on to the football. That is absolutely critical for the Warriors down here so close to the end zone.
Great opportunity to get this ball out of, even if they can't gain much yardage, just to get the ball, flip field position, and regroup.
Just to finish up the Franklin administration, the Director of School Management is Orville Wilson, Director of Pupil Personnel, Dr. Brenda Sofield, Manager of Human Resources and Coordinator of Policies, Brian Bonanno, and Mary Clark, and Franklin High School's principal is Mrs. Cheryl Clark.
Scott now under center, two-back set. Ball handed off to the number 14, Dalen Merrick's.
Good job of misdirection there by the Warriors. Get the line moving one way. Westfield's defense follows. Hand the ball back off the other way.
Small gain.
Nice job. Nice job creating a little bit of breathing room for the Warriors there.
It's 3rd down and 9. Pick up a 3, 3rd and 6 on that play. Gives maybe another small pickup here, even on 3rd down. Will give Conte the chance to punt from not on the back of the own end zone.
Really want to clear some room out with how close Westfield's been getting on those punt blocks.
You know, Franklin has taken a good job of taking the best throws and blows that Westfield can give it, but has not yielded up much of a big play. Scott goes back. He's got pressure. The ball is away. He's got a man. It is incomplete for number 44, intended for Jamil Holmes, covered by Westfield.
Interesting play call there, G. They came out in a heavy formation, 3 men lined up in a straight line in the backfield. Holmes is the only guy out on a route. Scott was throwing that ball no matter what.
So Conte will come in to punt, receiving for Westfield. Number 84, 84, Colin Freer. The ball is blocked into the end zone. Out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Number 57 for the Blue Devils, Jonas Dengler.
Dengler was one of 4 or 5 Blue Devils in the backfield on that punt block, G. You really want to see Franklin change up the blocking assignments because there are 3, 4, 5 rushers coming free every play.
Now you're flirting with danger if you're the Warriors. You keep the Blue Devils, this high-powered team, close in their own end zone, and you just can't escape too often.
Hopefully this is a chance for the Warriors to press the reset button, reverse some field position, get the Blue Devils back working on their own end. Franklin defense has played pretty well. They need to keep that up. They need to keep bottling up Allegro on those inside runs.
You know, when you look at a team like Franklin, who has been struggling in recent years, coming off the high confidence of the victory in Montgomery, how fragile do you think this team could be in terms of here we go again?
Well, I think that's the job of the coaching staff to show them what they're doing well right now. They're blocking well. They're playing good assignment football on defense. They just need to tackle. The Warriors need to tackle.
Asari Bompo parry for the free kick for the Warriors. Ball placed at the 20-yard line. He will not miss his cleats. A bright green. Two receivers for Westfield. The ball is kicked away. It's end over end, sidewinding kick. Ball takes a hop, picked up at the 25-yard line by Westfield. The ball picked up. He's got a man. He's got a corner, and he's down the far sideline. Still being tackled by number 4, Brandon Asare. Brings
Flag
him down.
Looks like it's going to be a hold on Westfield.
The ball will be coming back. Flag on the play. And there's a hold by Westfield, so we can wipe out that play. Ball will be coming back to the 40-yard line.
Now, despite that penalty, G, you really want to see Franklin's coverage team do a better job of staying in their lanes and coming down the field like an umbrella, covering every single part of the field and then squeezing it down towards the ball carrier. What you saw there was the outside man coming down too fast, creating a lane for the returner to get up into, and that's how Westfield made that return happen. Very fortunate that that flag came out.
So Shapiro resets the offense for the Blue Devils. Alliegro single back. Shapiro from the gun. Takes a snap, pitch out to Alliegro, strung out wide, immediately met by number 24, Juron Pitt for the Warriors.
Fantastic job by Pitt there, keeping the blocker on his inside shoulder, keeping his outside shoulder free, keeping contained and not letting Alliegro get outside, which is where he wanted to go.
What is Pitt keying on in that play?
He's looking at guards more than likely. Pulling guards are an indication of where the play is going almost every time in high school football.
6-yard loss, 2nd and 16. The ball is snapped, inside draw. Immediate contact and again brought down by the Warriors. Number 35, Walter Aguiar Herrera.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. The Warriors making that first tackle, wrapping up Alliegro, letting the rest of the team get there to finish him off. Great play by Herrera there.
This team has to feel that despite the success that Westfield has had, limited success, that they're making plays on defense, that they are stopping this vaunted running attack.
This is a 9-point game right now. The Warriors are certainly still in this.
3rd and 15, 7:14 to go. Shapiro in the gun, rolls out to his right, looking downfield. His pursuit, throws deep, but a flag as contact downfield with number 2, Claiborne Fields, runs into the receiver, number 87, Tommy Norris. Contact at the 35-yard line on 3rd and 15.
Sure looked like incidental contact to me, G, but they're going to get
the full 15.
They are.
That's brutal because certainly the play did not look like he was actually going to be caught. Defensive holding. It's 10 yards, but it's still going to be the automatic first down. It's not the automatic first down in high school football.
Warriors going to get a second chance here to make that 3rd down stop. It actually looked like they had that play stopped. That ball looked uncatchable. But unfortunately, the Warriors get flagged for holding. They're going to have to hold here.
So 3rd and 5 now as we come to the 45-yard line. Ball under center. Shapiro trying to draw the Warriors with a hard count. Flag down. Is this going to be on Franklin defense? Did he get him to jump on the hard count?
Looks like he did, G, and just got to be beside yourself if you're Coach P right now, telling your guys, watch the football. They're playing a great game on defense right now. It's just a couple of silly penalties and a couple of missed tackles that are really holding the Warriors back right now.
Well, these are coachable mistakes, but they're still costly when they're happening. So Westfield, by the benefit of 2 Franklin penalties, gets a first down, extricates themselves from 3rd and 17 jail to now first down, ball at midfield, 6:53 in the half, up 9-0. Shapiro hands the ball off to Alliegro again, who's met immediately by 35, Walter Aguilar Herrera with the stop. Again, I have to say that Franklin is taking the ball to the Blue Devil offense here and not giving them much for all the vaunted yardage that they're capable of running off.
Well, the Blue Devils aren't doing anything creative on offense right now. They're basically lining up and telling Franklin that they are going to run the football right up the gut at them.
Matt Shapiro looks to pass, pulls the ball down. Is brought down by number 44, Jamil Holmes.
CG, that was the same play that Westfield ran before that got a big gain to Emmett Smith. They ran the fly on the outside, the out underneath it from the slot. That time the Warriors are ready for it. The coverage was there, and there's nowhere to go with that football.
So here it's going to be star running back Tim Allegro in the backfield for the Blue Devils. Third down once again, 3rd and 8. Despite all the first downs in the previous penalty, the Warriors can still get off the field here with a big stop. Shapiro under center. Ball snapped. He rolls to the right. Pitch to number 87, where he's met immediately for no gain. Big stop by the Warriors. Had the inside shuttle pass to Tommy Norris. Goes nowhere for the Blue Devils.
Excellent job of wrapping up and tackling there by the Warriors. That's exactly what you want to see from them.
That's the same inside shovel pass that the Kansas City Chiefs have been running to Travis Kelce with much success from my fantasy football team in these last weeks.
Yes, it is, G, and the Warriors did an excellent job. Like I said, wrapping up, gang tackling. You coach that all week, especially with big guys like this on Westfield.
Westfield receives the punt. The punt kick is away. Ball is end over end outside the sideline. Franklin will get the ball at its best starting field position on the 27-yard line. The 24-yard line.
Chance here for the Warriors to reverse field position like we've been talking about at the 24-yard line. Got to pick up a couple of first downs here if you're Franklin. Get some good feeling on offense, get some rhythm, and get some confidence back on your sideline.
Once again, coming to you live from the Tap Into broadcast booth, I'm Lou Guglielmo, and with me is the coach, Steve Vergone. As always, manning the camera and providing producing our commentary, our good friend, Howard Gaber. Scott with the ball, hands off to number 14, Dalen Merricks, for a small gain. Game of 2, 1 yard, brought to the 30-yard line. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Love to see some misdirection, some counter, some option here from the Warriors. Westfield's defense playing very fast, pursuing to the football. You'd love to see the Warriors try to take advantage of that.
You'd love to see Franklin score here, but I think if you could just put together a couple of offensive possessions to give them some confidence would be just as wonderful.
That is the key right here for this drive. Get a first down, get some confidence for your quarterback, get your defense some rest.
Tony Scott, the ball floats the ball to number 2, Clayton Fields, who is able to break down, pickup of 6.
Nice job on that jailbreak screen.
Tackled by number 34, Will Kessler.
Scott floating that ball over a defender into Fields' hands. Good job. Short 3rd down now for the Warriors.
What do you think Coach Peskowski is going to go with here on this short down? Is he going to go for power, or is he going to try to roll Tony out and see if he can make a play downfield?
Well, G, the power football for the Warriors hasn't been working yet. I'd love to see them get something going off tackle. Lined up in the I formation right now. Everybody coming for Westfield. Brandon Myers pushing forward, keeping the legs moving.
Looks like minimal gain. It's going to probably be 4th down and 1.
It's real close on this spot. All going to depend on the spot.
The spot is right on the line to gain. They're going to have to bring the chains out, have an official. No, they gave him the first down.
Great job there by Brandon Myers, keeping his legs moving, keeping the pile moving. Excellent job by the big fullback right there.
Well, that answered our question whether they're going to go power or not. At some point, do you consider bringing Tony Scott under center like he was against Montgomery?
Well, they have done a little bit of that, Jay. My guess is that they know that Westfield's D-line and linebackers are the strength of this team, and they're trying to spread them out a little bit.
Scott stays in the shotgun. Merrick's is the single back, a timeout on the field. Taken by Coach Peskowski. And we go to commercial. And we're back here to tap into broadcast booth here at Franklin Field.
Quickly, we'd like to introduce Westfield administration to you. Principal Dr. Derek Nelson, Assistant Principal James DeSarno, Assistant Principal Mabel Hune, Assistant Principal Margaret McFadden.
Scott fading back. Look downfield, has a man open on the right sideline. Caught at the 50, but it's Tyke Reinberry. Big offensive hit there for the Warriors.
Great job there of Scott recognizing the zone coverage, seeing the defender with his back to him, throwing it right past his head into Reinberry's hands on the comeback there. Excellent job, excellent read by Scott, great catch by Reinberry. Just to finish up those administrators, the supervisor of athletics, Sandra Mamory, administrative assistant, Aaron Moan, trainer, Steve Barandica, trainer, Nicole Castellano.
Now Scott is under center. He drops back, pressuring in, throwing deep downfield.
Got him in.
He's got him for the score! Franklin on the board. Deep ball completion. Impressive.
What a throw by Tony Scott there. Only one man in the route. Tyke Reinberry runs straight past two defenders. Scott lays it out there for him. Drops it in the bucket to Reinberry. Great throw, great catch. Warriors are right back in it right now.
That has to lift this entire football team. On for the extra point. The kick is up. It is good. That extra point is good, and so is your vote for Robert Quinn for Assembly, the voice of the silent majority. And that touchdown was priceless, just like Venus Jewelers. Find out why they are New Jersey's #1 bridal source. So we just asked the question, Coach, would you bring Tony Scott under center? And within one play, Tony from under center on the 4-step drop, 5-step drop, hits Tyke Reinberry with the deep out.
Taking advantage there of Westfield's defenders, peeking into the backfield. Franklin's been hammering it up inside. Scott goes play action 2 plays in a row.
Look at Coach Peskowski firing up his Warriors. 9-7, 2:04 to play. You know, you've taken Westfield's best shots, and if it wasn't for the safety when you were deep in your own end zone, this is a tie ball game. You've got to be fired up if you're a Warrior and a Warrior fan at this moment.
I can't tell you what that kind of play does for your whole team. The stadium here, you can feel the energy. Everything back on the Warriors side right now. Great throw, great catch. Warriors back in this game.
How important is a quick stop here for Westfield to not let them do anything with little time on the clock?
I think it's even more important because the Blue Devils are going to get the ball back after the half.
Kick is away. The ball is received by the up man. Number 4 is taken down hard by number 14, Dylan Merricks.
Great job by Merrick. That's his second big hit on a return man for Westfield. That time did it legally, lined him up, kept his contain, lit the ball carrier up. Excellent job by Merricks there.
You know, with Westfield electing to defer to the second half, this is a vital series. Not wanting to get the score on one side and then the score on the other.
Key here, tackle. They are going to hand the ball off to Allegro. They are going to run it right up the gut the way they have been. Got to make the tackles.
Shapiro fakes the handoff, throws to the outside. Contained at the line, met immediately by number 9, Tayo Badru.
Badru and Fields out there on the left side of Franklin's defense did a great job getting off their
Westfield going
blocks,
to the hurry up. Clock running, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 29. Shapiro D. Pressure coming. Looking downfield. He's being chased to the outside and is brought down by number 29, Josh McDonald.
What a job by the
Timeout
Warriors there.
By the Blue Devils. And let us go to a word. Oh, we're going to stay live here on the field. Steve, at this point, 1:27 left. Do you hope that you can go 3 and out and get the ball back? Or do you just, if you're Franklin, if you get the ball back, do you try to push for the score, or do you try to just not make the mistake?
So I think the Warriors are probably going to play it safe. I'm very surprised by the play calling here by Westfield. I think up 9-7 with a running back like Allegro, they would have handed it off a couple of times, see if he could break a tackle and make a play. Warriors here need to focus on getting the stop, making a tackle. I'd expect to see something like a screen pass here, something safe, getting ball carriers in space.
And we'd like to welcome all of our 30 viewers who are watching live on Facebook and brought to you by Tap Into. Thank you for your support as we are able to bring you this live coverage of your Franklin High School Warrior football team. These kids are alive and kicking against number 19 Westfield. There's a new era in Franklin.
Feeling the energy in the stadium right now.
Third down, 16, minute 27 on the clock, and a flag. Looks like this would be offsides this time on Westfield. False start. Little nerves getting to the Blue Devils at this point, Steve?
Might be, G. It looked like they were trying to motion the slot receiver across the formation, maybe for a jet sweep, maybe to get him out on the edge and throw an out route to him. Moving a little bit early right there.
At this point, do you risk throwing the ball, or do you just try to hand the conservative handball off and do no damage?
I would play the conservative route given where they are, but it looks like Westfield is confident in their quarterback and confident in their offense.
Number 6 in motion.
Jet sweep.
Takes the handoff. Contained. Met at the line by
Great
Franklin.
job by the Warriors there.
Does Pichkowski call a quick timeout? Brought down again by number 2, Claiborne Fields. Fields has been all over this field tonight.
He sure has. Excellent job there making that tackle. It's exactly what we talked about. The Warriors need to wrap up, make tackles, and they can play with Westfield.
Pichkowski not electing to call timeout. Lets the clock run down to under a minute. The ball snap hits the turf. Kick is away. It's a big kick. Received. Let's go. Ball away down the field. Westfield will down the ball. Let some time run off the clock. Ball will be received at the 42-yard line. The Westfield 42.
Thing to remember here, G, is that this is a high school football game, and that field goals, especially long field goals, aren't always part of the game plan.
You know, I'd like to, again, remind all our viewers that tonight's game being brought to you by Tap Into, as well as our other proud sponsors of Venus Jewelers, Robert Quinn for Assembly, the Atlantic Healthcare System, the Sisters Network of Central Jersey, Carletta C. Beckworth, CPA, and the Learning Experience of Monmouth Junction. Once again, I'm Lou Guglielmo coming to you from the Tap Into broadcast booth. With me, as always, the coach, Steve Vergone.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a screen here from the Warriors, something safe.
43 seconds on the clock. Scott rolls back, pressured, looks over the middle. He's got a man! Intercepted and dropped by number 4, Jacob Dayan.
Pass was intended for Teo Badru right there. Scott not really looking at really what the defense was giving to him in the center of the field, and Badru never got his head around to even look for the football.
Is this where you say, you know, you pick your poison with Tony Scott? He is a playmaker, and he will try to make plays, sometimes a little too aggressively.
You know, you want your quarterback to have that confidence and have that gunslinger mentality, but you also want him to be careful with the football.
And once again, second down now from the 43-yard line. Scott receives the handoff, runs inside. He's got a chance to run on the keeper to the 45-yard line. Brought down. The clock is continuing to run.
And you know, G, even though that play didn't work right now, It's something that's going to keep Westfield's defense honest in the second half, so they can't have 11 players running to the football every time he hands it off.
And nobody's calling timeout. The clock's continuing to run. Looks like Peskowski finally calls a timeout with 7 seconds left. This will probably be the last play of the half, pending a defensive penalty. What do you say if you're Coach P, the way this momentum has turned?
Got to imagine he's going to take a shot downfield. Scott certainly has the arm to do it.
There is a official's timeout on the field for some smoke to clear from the concession stand, the snack bar. Speaking of snack bar, we're breaking ground on our brand new concession stand here at Warrior Field. So we're all proud of that and soon wait to see that addition, as you know, this school has transformed itself from the 10 years ago when it was first opened up to what it is now. It's a magnificent facility, bringing you the game under the lights. Friday Night Lights here, the production of HSG Productions. Okay, the smoke has cleared. Clock is running, and that will end the half with your Franklin Warriors trailing Westfield 9-7. It has to be encouraging for the Warriors to know that you are going toe-to-toe with one of the state's best programs, and you are equal to the task.
You know, not only are they playing them close, but they're a few plays away right now from really being in charge of this game. A little bit better blocking, a little bit better tackling, and the Warriors are looking at a 7-0 lead rather than being down 9-7. Excellent half, but there's some coaching points.
It is truly enriching to see how much this school means to them and how they are trying to get today's student to realize that, you know, it's not just a place to get in and to get out and to go on with your life, but you are connected to this school and to the Warriors who have come before you. I've had the privilege of teaching here for 24 years. This is my only place that I've ever taught. And Steve, I know you have me one better, even though I have been here longer. You came in as a student teacher and cut your teeth here and have been, you know, as much a part of the Warrior tradition. And seeing this stadium alive, listening to the buzz of the crowd, and seeing the excitement in what Coach Peskowski is bringing back to the Warrior pride, it's really enlightening, and it makes all of us super excited for, you know, what it can mean to the entire school community.
Can't say enough about all the names you just mentioned. The Solomons, Darren Plummer, Coach Peskowski. Fantastic people. It's always been a great community here to work with. And like I said before, I'm real happy to be back here at Franklin. Quickly, before the Warriors take the field, we want to give a shout out to some of our live viewers. Harvey Gaber, Christine Truck, Seneba Nassif, Stacy Young, and Chris Brooks. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast tonight.
As we come to you once again live inside the Tap Into broadcast booth, high above the field. Our sponsors for today's game are Venus Jewelers, Robert Quinn for Assembly, the Atlantic Healthcare System, the Sisters Network of Central New Jersey, Carletta C. Beckworth, CPA, the Learning Experience of Monmouth Junction. Just to quickly recap, game scoring began on a Allegro run to bring the score to 7-0. A block punt made the score 9-0 Westfield, and then Tony Scott hit Tyke Ryanberry deep down the far sideline to bring Franklin back to 9-7. Here we are, Pompey with the kickoff, number 34, ball received at the Westfield 8-yard line. Get ahead of steam, breaks one through the line, it takes him down at the 28-yard line.
Great job of coverage right there by the Warriors. Good return all around good play.
Received ball by Emmett Smith, number 80. He's been everywhere for the Blue Devils this evening.
Yes, he certainly has. Returning the football, catching the football. Smith has been everywhere. He's been a playmaker out of the slot on offense for Westfield.
All right, coming in at the end of the first half, Westfield looked a little shaken as Franklin was certainly carrying the momentum. Let's see what a halftime break does. 11:50 to go here, 1st and 10. Shapiro hands the ball off to Allegra, who gets met immediately at the 28-yard line by number 44, Jamil Holmes.
Holmes did a great job stepping up on that inside zone play. Westfield again coming out with that simple inside zone. Franklin knows what's coming. Holmes stepped up and made a play. Great job.
Shapiro back in the shotgun. Allegro behind him. Motions for the snap. Hands the ball off to Allegro. Big hole. Met contact. Allegro pushing the pile all the way down to the 36-yard line. Ball spotted on the 37.
Looks like we're going to see a hold here on Westfield.
The flag on the play. Flag on the play. That's going to come back.
Yeah, gee, that's the first time I saw Westfield run their power play.
False start. False start by Westfield, but still the ball comes back. Oh, again, this is the second penalty from Westfield. They ended the first half with a penalty. Not the same crisp discipline play we saw through most of the first half for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's true. Great blocking on that play, though. I'd expect to see them come right back to it.
Shapiro reading the signs from the sideline. Second and 14 at the 28. Shapiro has a man complete at the 36-yard line, taken down immediately, but number 9, Teu Badru.
And that pass was complete to number 87, Tommy Norris, the tight end for Westfield, getting open on a drag very quickly, but the Warriors right there to make the tackle. That's exactly how you want to play defense.
Third and long again here for the Blue Devils. There's an injury timeout. Number 87 for Westfield. Tommy Norris, the receiver of that play, is being escorted off.
Looks like he took a tough shot to his knee, maybe his lower leg on that.
It's good to see the trainers assisting him off the field and no need for the cart. Okay, 3rd and 11. Once again, Westfield with deep, long yardage on 3rd down, having trouble converting most of the game. Shapiro the snap, the ball, the out route on the slant. They'll be short of the first down. Reception by number 1, Stephen Barton, brought down by number 7, Tyke Reinberry.
Great job there by the Warriors, staying in their man coverage, staying on the receiver's hips, making the tackle. Westfield trying to clear the 2 inside corners out and run a slant underneath them. Excellent job making that tackle.
Number 34, Will Kessler in the punt. Franklin must be disciplined here not to jump aside, give them another first down on penalties. The punt is away, end-over-end kick. Ball being received on the bounce by Reinberry. Gets away from initial contact. He almost slips the tackle. Brought down by number 19, Sean Dwyer.
Really want to see Reinberry step up and catch that on a fly. That's the second time the Warriors have let a punt bounce in front of them that they could have caught. Want to see him get under that, call for a fair catch, save them about 10 yards of field position.
And isn't it risky to catch the ball after it bounces?
It is. It's a questionable decision. Once the ball bounces, you want to get away from it as quickly as possible. I'm sure Coach P is going to have a talk with him on the sideline.
I mean, with the team speed that Reinberry and the other receivers have on Franklin, they can make a play at any time, but you've got to know when to rein that in. Okay, Tony Scott back into the gun. 3 wide receivers on the far side. Hand off to Merrick. Merrick through the front line. Has a hole through where he picks up to the 30-yard line. Good run on first down. And
that's exactly why you have Tony Scott pull that ball, make the edge defender think about it before he comes down and tries to tackle the ball carrier. Freeze the defensive end, okay, and give Badru a hole to run up in through.
That's got to give Coach Peskowski a little more options to play call when you're not constantly 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. Now you're 2nd and 3. Play action become an option here?
Absolutely. Whole playbook is an option on 2nd and short. I'd expect to see the Warriors run it again.
What kind of look are we getting here with the 3 wide receivers, Coach?
Handoff here.
Merrick to the outside, taking the ball down to the 32-yard line. Small gain of 1 yard.
Going to be 3rd and short here. Now I'd expect to see the Warriors spread Westfield out again like they're doing right now. Pull some of those big defenders out of the box.
3rd and 1.
Let Merrick get some room to run up in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Scott pulls it again here to get this 1st down.
Last time in short yardage, they ran power.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that either.
Nope, this time Tony's going to be in the gun.
Coming out in trips again. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same play. Read option.
Tony kicks the ball. He looks like has the 1st down. Ball pushed back, but a forward progress is going to get him to the 34-yard line. Just like you called, Coach.
Great job there. Design run for Tony Scott. Running up behind his pulling guard. Excellent job. Gets the 1st down easily.
That's a 1st down for the Franklin Warriors. That 1st down was brought to you by the Sisters Network of Central New Jersey. Always with you as you move down the field and in life.
Great first 3 plays to open this drive for the Warriors. I'd expect to see them continue to spread it out and pound the football. Maybe catch Westfield with a play action a little bit later.
Scott back in the gun. Merrick to his right. Ball handed off. Kept by Scott, who gets to the outside. He's got a block to the corner, down to the 39-yard line.
Need Rhineberry to stay on that block on the outside. If he holds on to his man, Scott's got the sideline and a much bigger play. Not a bad play, 5-yard pickup for Scott, but you want to see your wide receivers stay on those blocks.
And Franklin is using the clock on this as we're down to 7 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter, giving Westfield all that they can handle on defense. Fans are getting into the game. Scott now in the gun. Once again, Merrick to his side. Tony rolls to the right. Pressure coming behind. He's got a man on a screen in the flat. It's caught by number 8. And that's going to be a Warrior 1st down. Shadeen Arnold with the reception.
Simple.
9. I apologize. That's Teyu Badru. Good. But Shadeen Arnold slipped me some money to make sure his name is being mentioned. So.
Simple sprint out right there. Flood the outside zone. Outside receiver runs a fly. Slot receiver runs an out. And you've got your running back running a quick out. Great job. Great read by Tony Scott.
And another Warrior 1st down brought to you by the Sisters Network. Tony Scott back in the gun. Hands off to Merrick. Keeps the ball. I mean, Steve, at what point are you supposed to let go of the ball in the read option? It looks like both of them together are carrying the ball down the field.
So you want to hold on to the ball as a quarterback for as long as possible. Freeze that defender. The whole point of a read option is to leave the backside edge defender unblocked, force him to commit one way or another, and then make a decision based on where he goes. So great job by Scott, pulling the ball at the last possible second.
4-yard gain again on 1st down. 2nd and 6. Again, we start with manageable 2nd downs.
Key for the Warriors on this drive.
This has been a multi-play drive for the Warriors. The clock now down to 5:39 in the 3rd quarter. Scott takes a step, rolls to his right, looks, throws the ball incomplete, intended for number 9, Teyu Badru. Incomplete, bringing up 3rd down and 6 from the Warrior 48-yard line.
Same sprint out play they ran a few plays ago. You want to see your receivers get a little bit more separation. You had 2 receivers on top of each other right there. 1 defender can cover 2 receivers. Hate to see that. Got to get them running at a little bit better separation next time.
Timeout on the field. It's just a short timeout for Coach P to run the play back and forth to Tony Scott. Takes it to the huddle.
Key 3rd down here for the Warriors. If you can pick up 3 or 4 yards, you'll probably see them go for it on 4th down.
Trips to the top side of the field. Rhineberry, close set, looking for Rhineberry all the way. Steps up in the pocket, throws deep downfield. He's got Rhineberry, lays out it, incomplete. He had a step on the receivers.
Rhineberry and Scott not on the same page there. Tight key Rhineberry stopped his route. Tony Scott threw it as if he was going to continue. That's where you saw that extra few yards, and just missed him on the play.
You have to, though, wonder if those shots downfield, near misses or completions, are going to start loosening things up for Merrick in the underneath.
And I think you've seen that already on this drive with the Warriors being much more successful running the football.
5:24 on the clock, 4th and 6. Pompey to receive the punt. Snap floats back, pressure comes, kick is away. Low line drive, checks up at the 26-yard line, down by Badru at number 9. It'll be first down, and we go to a sponsor. We're staying here live. Again, our sponsors are Venus Jewelers, Robert Quinn for Assembly, Atlantic Healthcare System, the Sisters Network of Central Jersey, Carletta C. Beckworth, the learning experience of Monmouth Junction.
Didn't see any change from the Warriors on that blocking on that last punt. I'd expect to see it at some point, or you may see the Westfield Blue Devils continue to come and bring everybody on a punt block.
Okay, Hank Shapiro back in the gun. Allegro gets the handoff. Met at the line, carries the Franklin defender for about 5-6 yards. Number 24 brings him down, Jerron Pitt. Allegro gets a little momentum going back. Again, that's got to help Westfield gain some confidence because they've been starting third and long for the last several series.
Absolutely.
7-yard gain on first down as we go 2nd and 3rd, 4:50 ball on the Westfield 26-yard line. Shapiro takes a stack, hands it back off to Allegro. Met at the line, driven backwards by number 6, Brandon Myers.
Westfield really wanting to play this man-on-man, inside zone, pounding football, and the Warriors are not backing down from it. They're taking punches, and they're dealing them right back. Westfield going to have to do something different on offense if they want to move the ball and pick up this first down.
3rd and 3. Shapiro back in the gun. Allegro to his left. Franklin, again, the undisciplined offsides. Encroachment on the defense, and he knew it. Teammates picking him up, though, a really good sign. It's a mental mistake. It happens. Key is not doing it again. That was number 28, Isaiah McCutcheon.
Yeah, McCutcheon coming off the field right now. You really got to play more discipline and watch the football in those key situations.
Okay, picking up out. Here we go. 1st and 10 now. Allegro again with the ball. Into the line, driven backwards, pulled down from behind. Stop made by the team defense, number 53, Nick DeMeglio, and number 12, O'Brien Dennison, teaming up for the tackle for the Warriors. 2nd and 8. Again, this is a powerful runner. He's put up prodigious numbers in his first 2 games, and yet he's only maybe getting 2 or 3 yards a clip here against this Warrior defense.
You know, Westfield running the same play inside zone over and over again. You have to wonder if they're trying to set something up with that play.
Shapiro waiting for the snap, pulls it back, has a crossing man. It's number 80, Emmett Smith, on the slant, taken down by number 14, Dalen Merricks.
You know, when you're playing man coverage and you have every defender in the box, it's a real tough assignment for your corners to stop that slant route. Merricks did a good job making the tackle, but a better throw by Shapiro. Great catch by Smith.
Shapiro quick with the ball. Allegro on the running start in the backfield pushes his way for a 5-yard gain. This quarter has only had 3 possessions in it.
And that play, G, is one of Westfield's bread and butter plays, their power play. I'm not sure why they haven't been running it before now and sticking with that inside zone. They must see something. But it looks to me like that's going to be the play.
There's a official's timeout on the field for equipment adjustment. 2nd and 4. The ball handed off again to Allegro. Pushes his way close to first down yardage. Will be just shy. Should bring up 3rd down. It was brought down by number 44, Jamil Holmes, and number 24, Jerron Pitt, teaming for the Warrior defense. Again, 3rd and 4, crucial down right here. You're not really in scoring range. Do you think you're in 2-down territory if you're the Blue Devils?
I think so, and if I am the Blue Devils, I am running that same play. I'm running power with Allegro 2 more times and making the Warriors stop it.
3rd and 1, fumbled snap, picked up, brought in, and taken down. It's going to be a loss of yardage.
Shapiro just has to watch that snap into his hands, a little too excited. They lined him up as the primary ball carrier.
And that was actually court number 8, Jake Villalobra, who was receiving the snap in the Wildcat. Think Westfield got a little too cute there?
I think Westfield had a goal line play that they were going with. It looks like they're going to go with it again right here on 4th down. Same play.
Again on the Wildcat, Villalobra takes the snap and gets through.
It's going to be close. Depends on the spot here.
Valabera looks like he has picked up the yardage. We'll see where the spot is.
So the advantage of running the Wildcat obviously is getting numbers on the inside, getting yourself an extra blocker. Valobro did a great job following his blocks up inside and getting that 1st down.
This is the first time they've gone to the Wildcat tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's true. And I'd expect to see more of the same. More power football, trying to move those Warriors off the spot.
New set of downs. 1st and 10. Shapiro hands the ball to Allegro. Allegro picks up maybe 3 yards on the carry, brought down by DeBeglio.
And your interior defensive linemen are the key to stopping that play. When a guard pulls, you need your defensive tackles to fill that gap, squeeze the play down, and sit inside that hole.
It was a 2nd and 9 now, gain of 1 on 1st down. Westfield might be letting the clock run down to 19 seconds, the play coming in. They probably have one more play in this 3rd quarter. Again, no scoring here at this moment. Shapiro deep in the gun. Ball received, holds it. It's Villalobra. Again, the Wildcat brings maybe a gain of 5 or 6 on the play. Will be 3rd and short. The time expires on the 4th quarter, and we go to a word from our sponsors. And we're back to you here from the Tap Into Sports broadcast booth. Quick 3rd quarter, Coach. Only 3 possessions.
Both teams had some success running the football. Saw lots of 3, 4, 5-yard gains. Picked up a couple of 1st downs each. But both defenses playing well, limiting big plays. I think we'll see more of the same here in the 4th quarter.
9-7 the score here in Somerset. 12 minutes to go, 4th quarter. The ball handed off. Kept again by Valobera on the Wildcat. You have to wonder if number 10 Shapiro hasn't had something happen to him, that he hasn't been in, and they've been having to go to Valobera now to run the Wildcat.
So I also wonder if they just want to add an additional running threat into that backfield right now. The Warriors doing a great job of pursuing to the football. Valobera is adding an element that they haven't seen, pulling the football from
Allegro.
And keeping it.
Okay. 2 back set.
Big 4th down here.
Valabera into the line again, pushing his way through for a 1st down.
Valabera seems to have a nose for finding that hole up inside. He's doing a great job of finding it, driving his legs towards the 1st down. That's the 2nd time we've seen him do that on this drive.
You know, if you average 4 yards a carry, you're going to get 1st downs eventually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Westfield not doing anything differently blocking-wise, but doing a great job of following where the yardage is.
Westfield is just outside the Atlantic Healthcare System red zone. Ball handed to Allegra, who is through the hole and will be in for a Westfield Blue Devil touchdown.
And gee, that's why you have your quarterback pull the football, force the defender to commit to that quarterback. He can't pursue the ball carrier. One person misses a tackle, and you've got Allegro making them pay. Great job by the Blue Devils on that run.
And number 24, Aiden Boland, will be in to try the extra point.
Key extra point right here. Puts it back to a two-possession game.
Snap is down. The kick, it is wobbly, but will make its way through the uprights. For 16-7 Westfield game, we go to commercial. And we are back here at Franklin, Somerset. Tap into booth. It is 10:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. 16-7 Westfield Blue Devils over your Franklin Warriors. A lot of time left in this fourth quarter, but Franklin has to have a sense of urgency at this point.
Absolutely, G. You want to see them answer with at least a couple of first downs here and hopefully picking up some points on this drive.
Kick is handled by Ryanberry as he makes his move to the outside, has a blocker in front of him, gets himself to the sideline, stops, cuts, puts his foot down, still manages to make his way up to the 35-yard line. Nice return by Ryanberry.
Excellent job following his blocks there, getting to his sideline and finishing that run. Ryanberry chooses not to go out of bounds, but finish the play, gain a couple extra yards on the return.
Now, you had a lot of success bringing Tony Scott under center to end the first half. You opened up in the third quarter with him in the gun and established a more ground control game. Now that you're down a score, where do you see Coach Piskowski going?
Well, you have to move with a little bit more urgency than they have been throughout this game, but I wouldn't expect them to change the game plan too much with 10.5 minutes to play.
Scott in the gun, has a man on the crossing route. It is Ryanberry, chops, changes direction, and is brought down from behind by number 8, the quarterback, Jake Valobera, doing it all right now for the Blue Devils.
You'd love to see Ryanberry there stick his foot in the ground, make one cut, and get upfield rather than try to cut it back and reverse it twice. Good catch, good throw, but you want to see him get that first down yardage.
We'd like to welcome everyone to a great game here at Franklin Field, all our viewers who are joining us live on our live stream. It is really close here, 16-7. Ball handed off, brought down to number 5, Rome Cruz.
Cruz doing a good job making something out of nothing there, G. The blocking wasn't there. Westfield was in the backfield almost as soon as he touched the ball. Good job getting back to the original line of scrimmage, but unfortunately brings up a third down for Franklin here.
3rd and 3. Ball on the 43-yard line. 9 on the 43-yard line. 9:25 remaining. Still a lot of time in the fourth quarter to start thinking about, a two-possession game at this point.
Absolutely. Franklin should not deviate from their game plan, execute their plays, and they should be fine.
Scott takes a snap, looks, shovel pass underneath to Rome Cruz, who's met immediately by number 50, Drew Ortiz, the linebacker from Westfield.
And there's a play where you want your senior quarterback to recognize that there's a defender in Cruz's back pocket as he's pitching that ball, maybe keep it and elect to do something else with that football, but not put the ball in jeopardy the way he did just there.
Okay, 42 in to punt for the Warriors. L.U. Conte had a good night kicking the football. Wobbly snap. Again, the ball is away. Side kick. Landing at the 40 into the receiver's hands, who has it on the run. Number 80, who takes it all the way down the right sideline to the Warrior 40. That's brought down by number 12, O'Brien Dennison. It looked like Emmitt Smith with the catch on the run.
Dangerous choice to pick that ball up on the bounce, but Smith did it at a full sprint. Good job on that return, and great tackle by O'Brien Dennison, saving what could have been a touchdown for the Westfield Blue Devils.
Momentum shifting over to the Westfield sideline at this point. Franklin defense needs to dig in. A turnover here would be huge for the Warriors. Who's in at quarterback right now for the Blue Devils? It looks like it's Shapiro back in the gun. And the ball handed off to Allegro, who's through the hole, and he's got a big gain down to the 26-yard line, taken down by number 2, Claiborne Fields.
When you have a running back like Tim Allegro, fourth quarter is his time, and you can see it. He's running through arms. He's running through tired Warrior defenders right now. Warriors really need a gut check right now, need to make a stop if they're going to stay in this football game.
How hard is it to go back to a conventional, from the defensive side, to go back to a conventional quarterback? The ball, Shapiro handed into the belly of Allegro. Allegro bouncing through his tackles to the 25-yard line. Small gain. Brought down by number 44, Jamil Holmes. Second, and we should be bringing up 2nd and 6. I was asking Coach, how hard is it you go from the Wildcat, which was, slashing you for the ultimate, the ultra score of the last series, and now you're back to a conventional shotgun quarterback?
Well, I think the Franklin defense needs to do a good job of communicating which quarterback is on the field. Shapiro hasn't shown you that he'll keep the football on that option give. He's given it to Allegro every time. No reason to think he'll start now. It's been all Valabera on those keeps. So you've got to recognize personnel, communicate it to your teammates.
Holmes hands the ball to Allegro, who's got a big hole up the middle, and again he splits the Warrior defense for the score.
Same play they've been running all night. That time, big hole opens up right in that A gap between the two tackles. Nothing that Franklin Warriors can do on that after Tim Allegro gets that head of steam like that. Good run, better blocking.
You have to look at the score and 22-7 and simply say that the stronger team has started to dominate itself, but you really got to look at Franklin and say what an effort they put to keep this game where it is. There's no sign of quit in the Warriors. They are really improving. This team is a young team that's learning how to win. As we go now to, it is 7-17 to commercial. And we are live here at the Warrior Field. The kickoff from Westfield at 7:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Westfield 23, Franklin 7. Deep to receive the kick is Tyke Reinberry.
Need an answer now here if you're Franklin. It's still just a two-possession game,
Ball
but you really need to see them answer here.
Ball on the ground, picked up, bouncing by Bodger, who was taken down immediately by the Westfield defense. looks like, again, that's Villalobra, who is everywhere. Number 6 also on the tackle, Matt McIntyre.
Expect to see the Warriors speed it up on offense, see a lot more passing. I wouldn't be surprised to see them start with a screen, get Tony Scott's confidence back with an easy completion on this first pass. Absolutely critical right here that the Warriors answer, though. 2-possession game, need to get back on this scoreboard and into this game with just 7:08 to play.
Tony Scott deep in the shotgun, deep in his own territory, takes a snap, looking downfield, puts the ball down, begins to scramble, has a break on the outside. He's through the line. He's going. Hexley has a slides for the first down. He's short of the first down, but slides, picking up big yardage on first down. It's like a gain of 8 on the play.
Love to see Scott hold the ball in that pocket one more second. It looked like he had a couple of receivers coming open. I know he picked up 9 yards, but at this point in the game, you need more than 9 if you're the Franklin Warriors. O-line doing a great job of pass blocking. Sit in that pocket, make your read, make your throw.
Looks like Tony's trying to get this score back all in one play rather than sort of a protracted drive.
And he's certainly capable of scoring on any play, but he can't score 16 points all at once.
2nd and 1, 6:17 to go. Scott receives the snap. Again, pulls it down. He is through. He's got on the right sideline and steps out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Ball be spotted at the 31.
That was a much better decision by Tony Scott. Pocket collapsing, steps up, sees a lane, gets the first down. That's when you want to see him take off and run, not when his offensive line is blocking everybody for him. Great decision, great run, big first down for the Warriors with 6:07.
Is this a case of taking what the defense is giving you?
Exactly.
1st and 10 now for the Warriors. That first down is always brought to you by the Sisters Network of Central Jersey. Always with you as you move down the field in life. Tony Scott in the gun. Takes the snap, looking downfield. Pressure coming, throws the ball, has a man on the sideline. Out of reach just for Fields. Claiborne Fields extending the body full.
Clay Fields was open on that play. Tony Scott's got to get his feet set underneath him before he makes that throw. When his feet aren't set, you see that ball sail. Fields had about 5 yards between him and the nearest defender. Tony's got to settle down in the pocket, step, and make that throw. That's a throw he's made 1,000 times in practice and is perfectly capable of making right now.
5:59 on the clock. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line of the Warriors. Scott staying on the shotgun. Ball snapped. He drops back. He's got under pressure, eluding tackles. Looking downfield. He plants. He throws. He's got a man coming open. Thrown for Tyke Rhineberry, who is incomplete at the 50-yard line.
Again, you want to see Tony Scott set his feet before he makes that throw. That time, feet aren't set. He skips it into Rhineberry, who was open. And to be honest, Tony Scott had a lot more time to make that throw.
Now you're
no rush. Again, like you said, he's trying to score 16 points on one play. The Warriors need first downs right now.
3rd and 10. You are down 2 scores. You're 5:49 on the clock. Do you start thinking, despite the fact you're deep in your own territory, that you've got to look at this as 2-down territory and take something short rather than trying to, well, we have a whistle on the field, official timeout for a shoulder pad adjustment for Tyke Rhineberry.
Have to imagine that the Warriors are going to go for this on 4th down. Regardless of the result of this play, offense is staying out there.
Scott in the gun. Tony looking pressured. Had a hand on him, rolls, runs out. This is Tony Scott, his playmaking ability, throws. Incomplete. There could have been some contact called on that play. There's a flag down. That's probably going to be holding on the Warriors where the flag is thrown.
Much better throw by Scott that time. Just a better play by the defender. Wait to see what this flag is.
It's holding on Westfield. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. May not give them the first down. Depends on the spot.
2 incompletions, and now a 10-yard penalty should give the Warriors enough for a first down.
Nope, looks like it's going to be 3rd and inches. No, they are moving the chains. So that's again, Franklin did this to Westfield in the first half, and it certainly came back to bite them. Is this now Westfield returning the favor with the fact that the Warriors might capitalize 5:38 with a chance at a second life when they were looking at a surefire punt situation at the worst and possibly a turnover on downs.
Critical penalty by the Blue Devils there.
New life for the Warriors. Tony Scott receives this pass. Drop back, rolls out to his right, waiting for his men to come open, throws the ball downfield. He's got a man, overthrows Tyke Ryanberry.
Looked like 2 Warriors were in the same place on that pass pattern. Miscommunication between one of them. One of them was in the wrong spot, but Tony Scott extends the play and almost delivers it into the hands of his receiver.
It looks like he missed Badru, who was coming open on the go route. Number 10 comes off the field for the Warriors, Anthony Bagwell. In comes number 2, Clay Fields. We are 5:29 remaining, 2nd and 10, ball on the 41-yard line.
Love to see Tony Scott get rid of the ball quickly. He's been holding it for quite a bit. Get it out into your receiver's hands.
Scott rolls to his right.
Ryanberry wide open here on the right side.
Throws deep downfield. Crossing over. He had a man coming open deep downfield. It was number 9, Tayu Badru, had the ball at his fingertips. Good defense by Westfield, knocking that ball away.
What an effort by Badru on that play. Just came up just short. Excellent throw. Excellent attempt at that catch. Again, though, you want to see Tony Scott get rid of that ball quickly. He had Ryanberry in the flat on the right sideline immediately on that play. Get the ball out of your hands.
Coach, and we know that Tony Scott can get 40 yards at a chunk, but does he have to try it on every play?
He doesn't, but he is looking for his deep receivers right now, and he needs to take what the defense gives him. First downs now are the priority.
Shadeen Arnold checks in. 3rd and 10, 5:17 remaining. Ball on the 41-yard line. Cannot hope for another Westfield penalty to move the ball. Receiver comes in motion. Scott checks
him wide open.
He's deep in pressure, gets the ball away. It's completed. Breaks a tackle. Forced out of bounds. Turned nothing into a little gain that actually broke down to Clay Fields for an 8-yard pickup. Looks like should be 4th and 2.
Again, Tony Scott's eyes are so far down the field. He had a receiver wide open in the right flat. Got to get that ball out of your hands quickly.
Looks like from our angle, he gained more yards than the officials gave him, so that matters more what they chose. And it's 4th and 5. That makes a big difference, 4th and 2 to 4th and 5.
Sure does. Definitely going to see a pass on this play.
What have the Warriors come out in? A little flare pass. It bobbled by Clay Fields. Incomplete.
Warriors try to run a jailbreak screen right there to Clay Fields. Unsuccessful. Again, the defender was in Scott's face immediately. Had to jump to get the ball to Fields. Couldn't throw it accurately. Didn't give Fields a chance to make a play. It's a tough break for the Warriors right there.
Number 50, Drew Ortiz once again, and Johnny on the spot for the Westfield Blue Devils. Coach, you have to wonder that little flare screen pass that they try to get, the little floater to the line, could that have been run earlier instead of always going downfield, downfield, downfield?
Absolutely, but you have to think the coaches saw something to run that play. It just wasn't executed perfectly, and Ortiz was a big reason why.
And here's the ball now again to Allegro, slashing through the Warrior front to gain 8 yards on first down. Clock running, 4:43 to play. Second down, 23-7. Westfield.
Interior of the Warriors defensive line looks gassed right now. They're getting blown off the ball where they were holding firm and letting their linebackers make plays earlier in the game. They need to hold strong if they're going to stop the Blue Devils here.
You know, the schedule doesn't get much easier for Franklin with Hunter and Central Union and Bridgewater coming up, but you have to be proud of this effort. Can you learn from this if you're the Warriors?
Absolutely, G. You know, the Warriors are going to take something away from this game, and this is one of the toughest conferences to play in New Jersey. So you're right. The schedule doesn't get any easier, but you learned that you could play with probably the best team in this conference right now. So a lot to take away from it, regardless of how this finishes up.
Allegro with the carry gains the first down. 3:55 on the clock when still running. 1st and 10 from the 43 of the Warriors. Westfield not in any hurry to get the play off. They are using the clock. Clock is their friend at this time. Heavy dose of Allegro coming up here. Oh, the ball is loose. It's a scramble in the center. We'll see who comes up with it.
Looks
like Franklin recovered. It is a Franklin football recovered by number 24, Jerron Pitt.
Big break for the Warriors right there. Got to move quickly. 3:23 on the clock. They need first downs, and they need them quickly. Tony Scott needs to get the ball out of his hands quick into his playmaker's hands.
That was just a bit of careless ball handling by Allegro, who wasn't even contacted, just didn't secure the handoff.
Sure, and that's what makes high school football so fun to watch, so interesting. That's why we watch until the end of the game, because anything can happen on Friday night.
Quick change coming out for the Warriors. You know, the mentality of feeling that they were going to run the clock out. Now you've got a chance to go and try to get this score. 3:23. Scott back in the gun, receives the snap, rolls to his right, puts his foot down, reverses field, escapes a tackle, moves up the hill, keeps trying to break. Now he's through the line, blocks from his right. He turns the corner, steps out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A lot of improvisation.
And that's what Tony Scott brings to the table every single play. He can break tackles. He can see things that other guys can't see. He is a playmaker. Excellent job by Scott there on the broken play.
Really smart play getting out of bounds, too, saving the timeouts, saving some clock for the Warriors. We come to the huddle, 3:12 on the clock, 1:10, 1st and 10 for the Warriors, 45-yard line. Desperately needing a score here. Tyke Rhineberry split out wide.
Look for the Warriors to take advantage of that matchup.
Trips to the lower side. Tyke on the slant, ball thrown low at his feet. Cannot make the completion.
Again, another example. You want to see Tony Scott set his feet and make that throw. Rhineberry had 8 yards to work with, 8 yards of cushion from the defender. Just get the ball to him and let him make a play.
If he leads Rhineberry open in that play, you know, a quarterback has to throw his receiver open sometimes. Rhineberry could be running till tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I think you'll see Tony Scott settle down on this next play. He knows he missed a big one there, and I'm sure he's going to focus on this next one.
2nd and 10, ball on the 45-yard line. 23-7 Westfield. Franklin trying to do the improbable. Ball snapped. Scott looks, surveys the field, steps out. Big pressure from Westfield, and Tony takes a big sack there.
Westfield came with the blitz from both sides. Both edge defenders came. Tough play for the Franklin O-line and for Tony Scott. Going to have to hurry.
That was number 46, San Giacomo, with the big sack there for the 2:43. Clock moving. 3rd and 10 for the Warriors. Really, the clock management is a bit curious why we're taking so much time getting the play in. They need 2 scores.
Well, again, G, this is high school football, and you want to make sure that your players have the play and know what they're doing on every single play. Hurry up offense, the way they run it in the NFL, isn't always part of the playbook in high school,
Scott,
unfortunately.
3rd and 18, takes the snap, throws, looks for a man but has nobody open. Ball incomplete.
Second time we've seen that play run where Bodger's not getting his head around fast enough. He needs to be looking for the ball before he's coming open because Tony is throwing him open on that play.
You know, it's desperation mode for the Warriors. And again, I have to ask, do you call 2 plays with that last sequence instead of trying to get all 18 back on one to look at a small completion to move the chains? Because you're better off looking at, unless you get a broken play, you're not going to get 18 yards.
I think the play call and the play design was there. Bodger was coming open. He just didn't get his head around quickly enough. Throw was there. The play was there. The execution was a little bit off.
Tony Scott, 4th and 18, takes the ball. Blitz coming in. Tony looking for trouble, tries to escape. He's taken down deep in his own territory. Again by number 8, Valabera, who has done it all in the second half for Westfield. The senior captain has personally put his stamp on this game. Franklin turns the ball over on downs deep in their own territory.
Franklin still with 3 timeouts here. Still a chance to stop Westfield and get the ball back. Not over yet by any means. Unfortunate that Tony Scott took the sack on that play, but you can't put it all on the quarterback. They do touch the ball every play. They are the ones who are most responsible on offense, but you can't blame it all on him. Offensive line has to give him a chance to throw on that last play.
When you have a playmaker like Tony Scott, he can do anything at any time. Ball handed off to number 27 for Westfield. Carry goes to Nick Martini, sophomore.
Looks like Westfield giving a couple of their younger guys a chance to finish off this game right now. For Franklin, you really want to keep Westfield out of this end zone in these last 2 minutes.
Maybe sending a message to Allegro about ball security late in the game, too.
Absolutely. Possibility there that Westfield is giving their star running back, sending him a message about holding on to the ball in critical moments of the game. Allegro just a sophomore right now, so I'm sure he's getting that message right now from his coach.
Shapiro hands the ball off to 27 again. Martini takes the ball for a small gain.
And with just 1 minute left to play, keeping the Blue Devils out of the end zone is a way for the Warriors to finish this game off on a high note and continue some confidence. You played a great game. You want the scoreboard to reflect the close game that you played. Got to keep the Blue Devils out of the end zone.
Clock is running. Looks like they're going to go to victory formation. Picked up that first down. Classy move by Westfield not to try to force a score here. What a game by the Warriors. Have to be proud of what the effort they put up against the 19th team in the state. This was a game that many people viewed as, in the past, Franklin would have maybe necessarily come as hard as they did. This team not only was in this game, this team showed that they can play, and it's going to be an exciting team to watch.
There's going to be a lot of disappointment on the Franklin sideline after this game, but they should keep their heads high. They played a great game. There's a lot to learn. As much as the Blue Devils won this game, there were some critical mistakes that lost the Warriors this game.
It is all but over here at Franklin. Once again, from the Tap Into broadcast booth, I'm Lou Guglielmo with Steve Vergone. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Tap Into, Venus Jewelers, Robert Quinn for Assembly, Atlantic Healthcare Systems, the Sisters Network of Central New Jersey, Carletta C. Beckworth, CPA, the Learning Experience of Monmouth Junction, and with the time expired is the final score, 23 Westfield, Franklin 7. Thank you for watching. We are out.